So here we are once again to continue the series that we've been covering, this Shelby GT350R. My name is Elton Felix. Guys, I thank you so much for choosing me. You could have been somewhere else. I appreciate your time. It's a series of shows that we've done. If you have not seen it yet, we've touched on where this car was given to me. We then put it up against the M6 Grand Coupe to see which one is the fastest from 0 to 100. And then we touched on the technical aspects that makes this Shelby GT350 the car that so many people have been talking about. We dealt with the engine, the suspension, the brakes, the tires. It's a car that's meant for the racetrack. But can you live with it every day? Today we're about to find out. We'll take it on the roads and then into the twisties where the fun really begins. If it's your first time seeing this show, please subscribe to our channel because we do this a lot. And I guarantee you, like it when it's done. Stick around. Trust me, you'll see. The Shelby GT350R. Can we live with it day to day? We'll get back to that. We're in sports mode already, and that includes our steering, our suspension, and for our sound. The ride is now really tight, and it reminds me of the Porsche 911. You do have two modes to your suspension. There is normal and sport. But I find that in normal, the car seems to be a lot more bumpy. When you turn it over into sport, it does stiffen the car quite a bit, but it also helps it to stabilize a lot quicker. You see, the first time I drove this vehicle, I was like, oh man, this feels really like one of those cars where you cut the springs, or you know those Honda Civics. I know, I've done it. My first car was a Hyundai Stellar. I did it to mine. The one thing that's always great about any Mustang, you don't have to be going crazy fast in order to enjoy it or to enjoy some of that sound. Get it to 3,000 RPMs and hey, pleasure starts. You see, here we are on these back roads, and I can tell you, I am not pushing it right now, but you can hear that muffler just communicating with you so much from the back. Okay, now we're about to turn it up to 10. Let's feel those Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2s as they handle the corners. Here comes the acceleration. The braking is so strong, and you definitely feel like you have complete control at all times. When you come out of the corner, you have to remember that not to go on the gas too hard because it is a rear-wheel drive car that has 56% of its weight over the front wheels. In other words, what I'm trying to tell you is that the back will come around on you if you're not too careful. I love the Mustang. This Shelby GT350R, because of all of that weight over its front wheels, it gives you absolute perfect bite when you turn into every corner. You accelerate up that hill and it just pulls and it pulls and it feels exceptionally good. Now, shall we get into a day-to-day drive? So now we come back onto the smooth roads, and like I said before, I prefer to have the suspension in sport because even though we're now relaxing, the car still has that tight button-down feel that you come to know in higher-end vehicles. The price point for the Shelby GT350R had started around $87,000. But if you can find one now for that price, you're doing good. This car, when it was purchased brand new, was $130,000. Of course, that includes markup. I can switch the exhaust back to normal, and this Shelby GT350 becomes perfectly livable. You always want to get some of that sound because you are in a sports car, so it doesn't mute it too much. But now, I think this is a damn good car. I really mean that. When I first drove it, I couldn't believe that someone would want to live with a vehicle like this because it just did not seem to have that personality that would allow you to be able to live with it day to day and then take it to the track. The Shelby GT350R. All the time since I had this car, I have to say I was not liking it because I had this vehicle in normal mode for the suspension and it was so bumpy. I could not see why people want to live with this thing. But switching it into sports mode, man, it changed my perspective on this car. It felt so darn good to drive. I'm not saying only fast, but even when you're doing normal day-to-day, it has that stiff, tight feel that you would get from the Germans, like the Porsche 911. I am so impressed with this thing. The Shelby GT350R. I can see what people are talking about. It is damn good, man. I'm not putting this on. I'm telling you guys, I like to be as real as possible with you guys at home. This car has changed my perspective. Yeah, that's not tears. That's just for whatever reason I get excited and now tears are coming out of my eyes. Man, do you like seeing something that's different, real, and authentic? This is what we bring. Thank you for your time. My name is Elton Felix.